Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hello. One second. Okay. So, before we get started, you all are really welcome to the Light and Insight event. Yes, I changed the name. The Light and Insight event that is going to be held on September the 1st. So that's Labor Day weekend in the Bronx. I have pinned the link to the chat. So for those of you who want to go, the tickets are on sale. Please go ahead and make your purchase for the tickets. And be prepared to join us for a day of light and insight. We're going to be really sort of a meet and greet, but also to dig into some things. Hopefully everyone takes something away that they can use. There will also be a book signing as well. So if you want to purchase the book while you're there, or you bring your copy, then of course, we're going to take some time out to sign copies of the books and things of that nature. There will be catering as well at the event. It's going to be about 6 hours or so. So it's a one-day event in New York, because of course that's where I live now. So it's going to be in New York. So I'm expecting the subscribers that are in New York actually to attend. This is the first ever live in-person Crimsonite meeting thing. So I'm excited about it. Hopefully it'll be a good experience for everyone as well who attends. And let's see. Thank you so much, Steve, for your support, as well as Willie. Thank you for your super sticker as well. I appreciate all of the contributions. So once again, the link for now is pinned to the top of the chat. So go ahead, click the link, take a look, and purchase a ticket. Okay. So I wanted to talk today about identity. I wanted to talk about identity. And how we as Black women lack it, we don't really have an identity. We don't know who we are. Like collectively, Black women have an issue with identity. And as I speak, hopefully you'll understand what I mean by that. And this is sort of coming off the back of the video that I did earlier today with the lady with the 7 kids and her being on welfare and all that sort of thing. That for her is her identity. That's her identity. A baby mom, a 7-time baby mom, a single mom, a welfare queen. She's on TikTok making that her identity. Okay. And it just sort of spoke to me something deeper. First off, these women don't know who they are, and they don't know who they should be. Oh, trust and believe. Trust and believe. Ray says Black women don't have identity. Okay, real, but we can say the same about our Black brothers because they need help just as bad as Black women, and they do. Because I'll get into. I might touch the guys a little bit today because I think we like labels as a group. We like labels. We like labeling each other, and we like putting each other in boxes. We like boxes, and we like putting ourselves and other people in boxes. And once we put them in boxes, that gives us permission to either ignore them, disrespect them, respect them, honor them, or dishonor them, or dismiss them. That's what we like to do. As we got a lot of pathologies as a people. And what I want to start pointing out is the way in which the pathologies show up. Because Black men got a pathology with identities too. It just shows up differently than how the women show up. The women show up, it shows up so much differently for the women than it do for the men. But I may touch the men at some time. At some point time. But right now we talking about the ladies. Thank you, Mogul, for taking up the link. That's the link to the event. It's posted on Eventbrite. I know a lot of people trust Eventbrite. So, just to make it easy for everybody to go get tickets. So it's pinned to the top of the chat for now. Because just go ahead. I'm going to put it in the description box as well. But thank you so much. So right now we're going to talk about what identity crisis the ladies have. Black women in general don't know who they are. And they don't know who they should be. So they take on all of these little titles and little traits, and they wear them as a personality. The bad bee, that's a personality. Bad bee is a personality. It's got a costume to go with it. It has an attitude to go with it. It has lingo to go with it. It has a demeanor that goes with it. It has a certain mindset that goes with it. When you're considered a bad bee, you're expected to move in certain ways. You're expected to be in certain circles, things of that nature. So the baddie, that's a person, single mom, baby mama. That's a personality trait. That's a title. That's a personality trait. Single mom, baby mama. That's a whole thing. That's got a certain thing to go with it, a certain lingo to go with it, a certain attitude comes with it, a certain demeanor comes with it, certain tropes, certain things that are always said, certain mindsets, certain, all of that comes with baby mama, single mom. Independent. I'm the independent woman. The boss. The single by choice, I'm healing and I'm happy by myself. That's a whole personality trait. It's a whole identity. The professional, successful woman, that's an identity. That's an identity. The degreesha, I'm educated, I have a degree. That's an identity. That's a personality. That's a persona. That has a certain lingo, a certain look, a certain profile. The travelisha, that's a certain, type of woman. I travel, I this and that. That comes with a certain kind of persona. None of that. Okay, so first of all, Black women gotta fall in one or more of those categories. But the problem is that none of those things are internal values or personality traits. None of them. Nothing that I just said is an actual personality trait. Has nothing, it's not a value, it's not a characteristic. So not only does she not know who she is, she doesn't even have a language that describes a human being. Because when Black women go somewhere and they describe themselves in any way, when they start describing themselves, they don't describe a human. They don't describe a person. They don't describe any internal value or personality trait. They don't. Black women have a bad tendency to describe herself by her circumstances, her experiences, her traumas, and all other external things. That's how she describes who she is, by what she has, what she does, what she knows, who she knows. Right? She don't describe a person. She doesn't get up somewhere and say, I am the kind of person I like to give back what I receive. So I like to be reciprocal. I'm the type of person, everybody tells me I have a great personality. I try to remain humble about that. And I simply try to treat people the way that I would like to be treated. I try to be kind when I speak. I'm not very confrontational. I like calm conversations, and I'm very solution oriented. I like to get to solutions for any kind of challenge. I love working with other people in every setting, very close with my family. That's not what we hear. Whenever Black women talk about themselves, they describe themselves and they define themselves by any accolades that they think that they have. Whatever it is that they think that they have that's good. So if you have a woman that thinks that she's pretty and sexy, she gonna say that all day. That's not a personality trait either. The baddie, that's not being pretty is not a personality trait. That's a character. That's a physical characteristic. And you didn't have no say in that. That's genetics. Being pretty is not a personality. Being educated is not a personality. Being a single mom, that's not a personality. Because even when you ask, even when they be like on dating shows and stuff, they'll say, well, I'm a successful Black single mother, independent woman. What does that even mean? That tells us nothing about who you actually are. The only thing that it tells us for a fact is that you don't know who you are. You have not done any introspection that would lead you to figuring out who you are, because you have no language that describes a human being. You don't say, I'm loving and caring, but sometimes I have insecurities that come up. And I struggle with that. But otherwise, I don't let those things define me. I love cooking because I get a great joy out of people eating the food that I prepare for them. I like to make people happy. Tell me something about you. Telling somebody you got a PhD does nothing but tell me you know how to sit in a classroom, take tests, you know how to take standardized tests, you know how to memorize information, and you know how to do that and regurgitate the information that you learn in order to receive a certification or a degree at the end of a curriculum. That's what that tells me. That doesn't even see, they say that as an attempt to indicate intelligence, and it don't. Nothing to do with intelligence. Lots of people go to school and are good at school work, and they are not quite intelligent. Don't have many critical thinking skills or any of that. That doesn't tell me anything. What does that let me know? And they say that to then indicate that I am valuable without expressing any value. So she uses external things, but none of it is a person. We're going to get into why she do that. Because being able to cook, clean, suck D, and throw your kitty cat is not a personality trait. They don't even make you good women. That don't make a good woman. That doesn't make you a good woman. Being able to cook or clean and throw some cat, that don't define womanhood. This is why I don't really focus on it when we get to talking about wife duties and what being a wife is. I don't really focus on domesticated duties. Because folks get paid janitorial money to do that. Hyenas know how to do that. Hyenas know how to do that. Hyenas know. Hyenas know how to cook. They know how to clean. They definitely know what they're doing in their bedroom a lot of times. They know how to do that. Says nothing about who they actually are as people. I know plenty of very clean, neat, well-presenting hyenas. Wouldn't know peace if they was drowning in it. Not a personality trait. That don't make you good. All of this stuff don't make you good. Because being good or bad is a spiritual value setting. And it is not characterized by what you have or tasks that you may do. Same thing as a man going to work and being responsible for his bills and his well-being. That doesn't say anything about who he is. That just means he an adult and he go to work and he make a paycheck. And he do that. Has nothing to do with who he is as a person. Doesn't tell me anything. Those are tasks. Those are external things. Those are things you do. It's not who you are. And it doesn't define whether you're good or bad or not. Let me answer her question. I'm gonna be real with you, Bookie. No. Being a virgin don't have nothing to do with you being good. Hyenas was virgins at one point. And I'm not saying it's bad. It just don't have nothing to do with who you are. That doesn't define anything. That doesn't define anything. Because first of all, that all depends on why you're a virgin. Are you a virgin because of your spiritual value? Is it because you don't believe in it? Is it, you see what I'm saying? It still don't have nothing to do with who you are as a person, because that is a development outside of your sexuality and outside of your sexual being, because at some point you're going to give that up. So if all of your good is set on being a virgin, what happens when you lose your virginity? Do you turn bad? Is it bad? Do it make you bad? No. So it just don't have nothing to do with the totality of who you are as a woman. Right? I want to get into some other things too. There's just a lot been on my mind. A lot been on my mind, y'all. I'm trying to get it out too. And I got my notes here. But I'm at the midpoint. So hold on for a quick second. Is it me, or was I the only one that didn't notice the so-called outage, the so-called internet outage, or whatever that supposedly happened? Am I the only one that didn't notice that? Because I didn't notice that. Somebody do me a real big favor and repost the do me a favor and repost the ash kicking link for me, please. Please do me that favor. Oh, it was just a Microsoft thing. Maybe it's because I got Macs. I didn't notice. Oh. Because I didn't even notice. Thank you so much for doing that. I had to switch the pins. But make sure that you go to ashkicking.com. The link is now pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure that you are going there to get the best body butter on the market. Okay, keep your skin looking, feeling, smelling. It's absolute best. We are mid-July. It is hotter than July, okay? All across the nation. So sundresses and tank tops and sandals and all of that good stuff, that's what we got going. So you're going to need your skin to be in top top-notch condition. And the only way to do that is to go to ashkicking.com and get you some body butter. If this is going to be your first order, then take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson, all right, in order for you to get you a nice order of body butter. I love this stuff, y'all. I don't know how many likes I need, but I owe y'all a bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta Go ahead, hit the like button for me. I'm trying to, because I wrote out everything I wanted to say, and I swear I'm gonna say it. I swear I'm gonna say it. We just walking around with a dead heart, y'all. We're walking around with dead hearts. The women have dead hearts, so they don't feel anything. There's no feeling. See, the essence of femininity is the ability for a woman's heart to feel. The essence of femininity is the ability for a woman's heart to feel. I couldn't get in touch with my actual femininity until I allowed my heart to open. And I allowed the pain in my heart to be the pain. I allowed it to be the pain. I allowed the pain. I allowed the things that actually hurt me to go ahead and hurt me. Go ahead and hurt me. I allowed myself to be hurt because I was hurt anyway. Now this is years. This is years in the doing. This ain't no 2 days, 3 days, snap one night because you cried. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, I went ahead and let the heart ache. Black women are scared to let the heart ache. Let your heart ache. Let it ache. You hurting anyway. Because as long as you don't let your heart ache, you close it. And then you ever heard of a hardened heart? A hard heart. A hard heart. Hard-heartedness is a curse. When we look at the story of Moses and Pharaoh, of Musa and Fir'aun, what do Allah say he was doing? Every time Musa would come to Fir'aun, and talk to him, he would understand what Musa was talking about. But when Musa went away, his heart was hardened. He had a hard heart. Ultimately, it was his demise, the hard heart. That's a curse. Hearts that can't cry. Hearts that can't feel nothing. It's not a flex for women to say they able to go so long and then don't remember the last time they cried. I was one of them. At one point, for me to be such a crybaby now, at one point, it was years I couldn't cry. I couldn't. There was nothing that could make me cry. There was no hurt feelings. There was no harsh word. There was no bad circumstance that could really make me cry. That's not strength. That's a dead heart. That's a dead heart. It don't feel nothing. Nothing don't shake it. Nothing don't move it. The essence of femininity is the ability for a woman to allow her heart to feel, but to be in touch with it as a power, not as a hindrance. To be in touch with the feeling of her heart as a power of her femininity, not as a hindrance to who she is as a person. Afraid to feel because that level of feeling demands vulnerability. The vulnerability is then perceived as a weakness, and the weakness is to be avoided at all costs. Weakness is a Black woman's kryptonite. Because the last thing we want to ever be in the world is weak, or for somebody to perceive us as weak, or for somebody to think we soft, or for somebody to think that we can be taken advantage of. So we have applied the title of weakness to vulnerability. Vulnerability is intrinsically tied to femininity. So therefore, femininity is weak because it demands vulnerability. And we can't be vulnerable. Somebody gonna hurt you if you're vulnerable. Somebody gonna hurt you. See, we always put it to vulnerable to somebody else. You don't show your own self your underbelly. You're not vulnerable with you. Because you would sit somewhere by yourself and start to cry and then talk yourself out of it. No, I can't do that because just gotta go through it. So strength is a shield from pain and hurt that is both real and imagined, because women will imagine pain. Okay? Strength is there to be a shield from pain and hurt, which is both real and imagined. Independence is there to make sure that she cannot be disappointed or let down by anyone other than herself. Problems with strong and independent. The problem with strong and independent. These are coping mechanisms. And they are coping mechanisms that prevent healing, because healing and truth can be hurtful and painful, and hurt and pain need to be avoided. Strong and independent is a coping mechanism which prevents healing, because healing and truth can be hurtful and painful and therefore should be avoided. Why don't Black women have any identity? Because avoiding the process of introspection, healing, vulnerability, allowing yourself to be hurt when you hurt, prevents self-discovery, which then prevents you from knowing who you are. You cannot know who you are without self-discovery. You have to go on a journey of self-discovery. And that means going to every place inside of you, whether you like it or not. You know how many times I've had to visit places inside of me that I don't like? And this is after healing. Huh? I got scar tissue. Huh? You thought healing make you smooth? I did a lot of healing. Oh, I dug so deep. I got scar tissue. I have emotional scar tissue. And if you poke it right, I feel that past pain. Like, wait, I remember that. I remember when I got that scar. I remember what made me have that scar. Don't touch that. But it shouldn't hurt now. No, it don't hurt. I just remember it though. I didn't forget it. Just because it don't hurt no more. It's a lot of stuff used to hurt me, don't hurt me no more. Now I didn't forget it. Avoiding the vulnerability because it's weak, that's what's making you not have no identity. Because weakness is a Black woman's kryptonite. That's the last thing that we want to acknowledge, is that we can be vulnerable. And we have demonized weakness. We done demonized that. We as women have demonized. And when I say weak, I don't mean be sorry and just. That's not what I'm talking about. Sometimes you don't got it. Sometimes you not that. This is where all that identity stuff come from. This is why the wig and the BBL and the makeup industry is billions of dollars. And it comes for Black women. You can only make that kind of money off of a group of women that don't have no identity of their own. That's the reality. The reason why These beauty industries make so much money off of Black women in particular, with the weaves and the wigs and the BBLs and the this and the that. The reason why they can come to Black neighborhoods and set up shop, and them beauty supply stores make millions of dollars a year off of the insecurity and the lack of identity of the collective of Black women. Only women who don't know who they are go for this stuff. Only women that don't know who they are do this. Only women having an identity crisis do this. And I'm not even against the beautification of Black women. I'm not against that. I'm not against you with a little makeup on your face. I'm not gonna begrudge you a makeup. I don't want to begrudge you some nice jewelry or even getting your hair done. I don't begrudge you for that. But when it is a pathology based in not having no identity and not figuring out who you are, that's when we having a problem, beloved. That's when we having a problem. See, the wig ain't the problem. It's why you wear the wig. That's the problem. You understand what I'm saying? The wig ain't the problem. It's why you wear it, though. Huh? And telling me that other women wear wigs, that don't do nothing for me. Because white women wear wigs all the time. Oh, white women love wigs. White women love wigs. Oh, baby. White women love wigs, baby. Ooh, a good piece in their head. No, baby, bye. You never seen how many white women wear wigs and little hair pieces and stuff. The only difference between they wig and your wig is why they wear their wig and why you wear your wig. She not having an identity crisis. Her hair thin in the middle. Her hair thin in the middle. And she trying not to suffer from female pattern baldness, baby. She got alopecia. And she trying her best to fill out that little ponytail she got. She trying to hold on to it. So she put some things in the middle there, so it can poop it up and, it's sitting there like wet noodles. She want, body, that's all they talk about on they look white women hair commercials. They white women hair commercials, the hair commercials that's for white women. We don't show number white women and they study, they curls it and they got this, conditioner and then they got that kind of, and they show you with the hair follicle, the little fake hair follicle and all that kind of stuff. And what all they say? What all they say? To give you more volume and body. That's what they want. She not having an identity crisis. They not making millions of dollars off of her getting a wig because she don't appreciate being a white woman. When we wear lace fronts, we ain't trying to get no body and volume to our hair. It's got too much volume. We done braided it down. If anything, it's too poofy. We call it making our hair manageable. Because we're convinced that our hair in its natural state is not manageable. We're convinced of that. We're convinced that our hair in its natural state is unruly. And it's not. Do it take work to get our hair to kind of do the stuff that we want? Yeah, it take a little work. But when you don't know, that's why you go to the beautician. You think all them white women know what to do with their hair? No. That's why they go to the salon. They don't know how to do their hair. Go to the salon. We go to the salon to get the wig put on. Since when you can't put the wig on in your house? Since what kind of wigs is these? What kind of wigs is these that you can't put them on in your house? Why is it so involved? That's just a side note. Why is the wig so involved? I don't know why they so involved that you got to pay $200-$300 for an install. Just look at the language we use for it. Like putting in a new dryer. I'm gonna go get my hair installed. Installed? Look at the language. Look at the language that we use. You gonna get a wig installed? I wish I would tell somebody I'm finna go get my hair installed. At least say you're going to get it done. Don't say install. Don't say you're going to get your hair installed. What you put me in a new refrigerator? What is you doing? I beg you, young lady, stop saying you're going to get your hair installed. Stop saying that. You're going to at least go say you're going to get your hair done. But they can't really say they're getting their hair done because then nobody's doing their hair. I'm gonna let you in on something. The not having an identity. I'm gonna connect two dots for you. I'm gonna connect two dots for y'all. Y'all ready for the dots to connect? Black women go through their life copying what they think they should be. And this is why the hyena clan mimic one another, no matter how ridiculous the mindset or the behavior. So when you wonder why these women have hive mentality, it's because they don't have identities. So when one say something or do something, especially see social media just serves as a faster vehicle for the information to reach the other one to the other. That's the only difference, is just the information get there faster. That's why they all do the same thing. None of them have any identity. So therefore they mimic one another in anything. That's why so many BBLs. That's why. Because they don't know that they don't need to go get a BBL to be a woman. They don't know. They don't know that don't make you a woman, a better woman or a worse woman. Whether your booty big or small, that don't have nothing to do with what kind of woman you are. So they all mimic one another. They all say, we got to have a man that make more than $100,000 a year because they don't know nothing. Don't have no identity. See, they've never thought clearly about anything. They've never thought clearly about anything. So whatever seemed like it sound like it might have an ounce of sense to it, here's what there they go. We don't go to cheesecake factory when they've been going to cheesecake factory. See, if nobody had never said that, that wouldn't have been a talking point. You understand? If nobody had ever said that, they would not have been, it wouldn't have been a talking point. See, can't nobody send me no money for no lunch and it's less than $100 because I spent $100 on my lunch. No, you don't. You don't have $100 in your bank account from paycheck to paycheck. You don't spend $100 a day on your lunch, ma'am. This is why you want a cash app for your lunch, because you do not have the money for lunch. Okay? You're sitting at the desk starving, like Marvin in the vegetable garden, baby. You don't have no money for food. Okay? And it all become a talking point. Do you understand that? This is where it comes from. This is where it comes from. See, we laugh at it why they do the same thing, because they don't have, when you don't have any identity and you avoid every road that leads to an identity, you avoid everything that could even possibly give you an identity of your own, then you just do anything. See, what the saying is, when you don't stand for nothing, you fall for anything. They don't stand for nothing. This is rooted in which value? Everything that I talk about is rooted in which value? Because see, being able to read somebody, that's a personality trait now. I ate her up. That's a personality trait. Finding your identity. Which value is that rooted in? Which value is finding your identity rooted in? Not the appearance value, no. Which value is finding your identity rooted in? It's your spiritual value. Who you are. What makes you you. It's your spiritual value. I got other stuff to say. Sometimes I don't know where to put it. Sometimes I don't know where to put it. I don't know. I wonder if I'm being too over emotional or something. When you done disconnected from God, that's why you don't know nothing. And you can't find nothing out. When you disconnect yourself from any concept of believing in the Most High, this is where you get up. This is why the lost value systems spirituality is in the toilet. That's why it's lost. Because the disconnect from the Most High is what make you lost. That's your first point of loss. The first lost. The first point of loss is when your spirituality is in the toilet. For the women in the chat, and it doesn't matter to me what your spiritual system is, but I would like the women to answer. Do you believe that God loves you and that God loves women? Put a 1 in the chat for yes, a 2 in the chat for no. The ladies only. Doesn't matter what denomination you claim or what. Do you believe that God loves you and that God loves women? A 1 for yes, a 2 for no. Good. Good. I'm glad to see the ones. Because he do. He did not create us in vain. He didn't create us to punish us. He didn't create us to curse us. He didn't create us and being mad at us. He didn't create us as evil. Or any of that. Always try your best, and I'm speaking to myself first, to connect yourself to the Most High, always. Through prayer, through meditation, through reading your book. If you're a lost woman, start there. If you are a lost woman who's suffering because you don't know who you are and you don't have an identity, the first thing you have to do is connect yourself spiritually to the Most High, and that is truth. The discovery of truth and the acceptance of truth. You got to tell yourself the truth, and then you got to make peace with it. One of the hardest things to do. You got to tell yourself the truth, not your version of the truth, but the truth. Hardest thing to do. Because then you got to make peace with whatever the truth is. Whatever the truth is, now you got to make peace with it. Now you got to be all right with it. Somebody put the link to the Light and Insight event back into the chat for me so that the people can click that link and buy their tickets and things of that nature. Thank you so much. Miss Nicole has posted it in the chat. So those of you who have not yet gone to purchase your tickets, please do so. You can go ahead and hit that link. It'll take you right to the Eventbrite space so that you can purchase your tickets. Thank you, 21st Century Vikings. And Miss Kendra, I just came to the chat, but I'm glad I caught you. Haven't caught up on the topic yet, but what's the difference between your Patreon account and a YouTube subscription account? Asking for my lady. I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna get back to that. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Love My King 25, for your super stick. I appreciate you. Thank you, Chicago Channels. I see the lost identity in the eyes, a deadpan look Nicki Minaj has, red flag indicator. Thank you, John Teal. So social media is the Velociraptor call to the pack. Let me get back to this because I know that it's not just one person. At one point, my Patreon, I was trying to get it back because I've had Patreon for a long time. And the Patreon at first was just supporting. Wasn't necessarily no content on it. It was just support. But I thought that I should put content on it. So I actually have content that I was putting on Patreon that's still there. I never took it away. However, Patreon is difficult for me only because there's no feedback there. So I don't know if people were being helped. I don't know if they liked that content or if they wanted that content. So it was a little bit interesting for me to make content for Patreon. And so the content that I was putting on Patreon, I said, you know what? Let me just do it as a membership to the channel. First of all, because people were asking for a membership to the channel. And I said, you know what? It would be easier for me to I'm already here on YouTube making content. It's easier for me to make the content here on YouTube. And it also may be easier for my subscribers to just be on the platform that they're accustomed to being on instead of asking them to go to a different platform. So in reality, the subject matter for my membership content and my Patreon content is not very different from each other. I try to do more solution based and just other kinds of content. So if I were to promote one, I would say the membership content, because first of all, I'm more consistent there. And there's more membership content in my estimation than it is Patreon content. And since it's easier for me to make membership content, there's pretty much always going to be more membership content, as well as membership promotions and things of that nature. Because, for example, for the event that I'm hosting, members get a discount. Members get a discount. So there are different perks, and it's just easier for me to create the perks for the membership. Patreon has always been a struggle for me, but I didn't want to take the content that I had already created on Patreon away from Patreon, if that makes sense. I hope I answered your question. Thank you so much, HVAC said, for example, these single mothers tell themselves the truth, then they be okay, but they have to constantly lie. That ain't good. No, it is not. Thank you, Miss Love said, I remember being so hurt and believing God loved mankind, but wasn't sure he loved me individually. When I allowed my heart to break, I saw God loves me specifically by mending my broken heart. That is powerful. That's powerful, sis. That's powerful. Because I'm going to say this and then I'm going to leave, right? Because this is not a popular. Don't nobody talk about solutions. Don't nobody view solutions. But it's popular. I mean, it's powerful because that allowing your heart to just break right into all the pieces that it's already broken into allows you to really, in your most vulnerable space, reach out to the Most High, because that's what he's answering. See, we serve a mighty God. He ain't just listening to what come out of here. It's hear what he know. He know this. He know this. He know this better than we know it. So sometimes we'll speak out of our mouth something we want, but the heart don't want that. Heart wants something else. And he'll give you what your heart wanted. Whether that was good for you or bad for you. Sometimes he'll give you what was bad for you because you just pining for it so much in your heart. And it's done to give you the lesson out of it. That's not even the punishment. It's done so you can get the lesson out of it. See, you wanted this thing and you thought it was good for you. I was keeping it away from you because it's not good for you, but you want it. You say with your mouth one thing, your heart say something else. I'm going to give you what your heart wanted. Right? Because this is where it comes from. And I'm going to say the English interpretation of the verse, paraphrasing in the Quran, right? Well, Allah says, when he guides you, no one can misguide you. And when he leads you astray, nobody can guide you. If he misguides you, nobody can guide you. And if he guides you, nobody can misguide you. And people would think, well, why would he want to misguide you? It's not about what he wants. It's about what you want. Because sometimes you want misguidance. Sometimes you want it. You want it because you want to do what you want. You want what you want. And what you want is a misguidance. Okay. Okay. I'll let you go. I'll let you go that way. Because see, I've been closing that off. So you could go that way, but you don't like that way. You don't like that. You don't like that way. You like that way. You think you like that way. I'm going to let you go over there. You are not going to like that. But I'm going to let you do it. The awesome thing about it is when we cry back out to him, he be right there. See? Now, come on. You know how sometimes you can't get out? If you realize you've been in the same cycle of BS, I'm gonna tell you why you can't get out that cycle. When you continue a hard cycle and you cannot stop attracting foolishness or something is negative that continues to recur for you, and you don't understand why that's a pattern. Why I can't break out of that pattern? I'm going to tell you why you don't break out of the pattern. You can't break out the pattern till you learn the lesson about the pattern. You cannot break out of the pattern till you learn the lesson about the pattern. Life be literally sitting you at the kitchen table. If Johnny had 5 apples, you be sitting there crying. If Johnny had 5 apples, I'm gonna hit you upside your head. If Johnny, stop crying. If Johnny had, listen to me. Stop crying. Stop. You better wipe your face. That's what life be doing to you. Life be doing that. You literally feel like life is sitting you at the kitchen table. If you cry one more time, I'm gonna beat you. That's why you can't. That's why you can't get out the cycle. Because if Johnny had 5 apples, and when you finally answer, if Johnny had 5 apples, Susie took 2. How many apples do Johnny have? 4. I'm gonna beat you. If John, see what I'm saying? When you come up with the right answer, we done with if Johnny had 5 apples. Then now we'll be done with it. We can move on to another lesson now. We can get another lesson. It's a different lesson. All right, I'm done. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.